Welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. We have the honor to be here with Emelie Karlsson from Sweden, living in Australia, and she is a top enduro driver in motocross. And we're so happy to have you here. And I think you better continue there because you're the motocross guy.
Well, yeah, so happy to talk to you, Emily. I would love
Yeah,
to,
thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you. I would love to hear a little bit about your background. You said you came from motocross and switched to enduro later on. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and yeah, your background.
Yeah, so I'm Swedish and I grew up in Enköping. And yeah, my dad was always on me and wanted me to ride motorbikes. That's normally how it starts for a girl. And my brother always raced too. So I grew up watching my brother. And yeah, it took a couple of years before they got me fully into it. I was actually a figure skater before that and competed in that and started riding pretty late at 15. And that was all motocross. And maybe towards a couple of years later, I started doing just like more in winter because in Sweden it obviously gets cold, and so we got the winter series. So I started racing some enduro in winters just for fitness, but it was mainly motocross. And then I met my partner Stefan, and we decided to move to Australia in 2011 because always wanted to race here because he's born in Australia, and he got a contract here. So we decided to move, and that was in enduro. He comes from motocross as well, but yeah, we moved over here and we started racing enduro. So that's sort of how it started, and we doubled with motocross as well, but our contracts were in enduro. So yeah, so it's a long story short, but yeah, we raced for like on a semi-professional level for, yeah, what is it now? Almost 20 years. So it's a long
Wow,
time.
that's a long time.
Yeah,
Did you feel
but
that
we love it.
the switch to go to Australia and be able to ride all year around was enhancing your riding? Or because in Sweden we have like winter time and you can't ride as much. So how did that go when you came over there?
Yeah, we definitely get to ride a lot more, and it's nice to not have the studded tires.
Yeah,
That we can just have the normal tires all year round.
yeah,
That it helps, but sometimes I also think it's healthy to have a little bit of a break, which here you feel like we do normally take a bit of a break over Christmas because our season is the same time as in Europe. So we race when there's winter here. So when you guys have summer. So we still race at the same time because in summer it's too hot to race here. So over Christmas we still have a little bit of a break, which is nice. But yeah, like we've been out riding today, and yeah, no studded tires, which is nice. It's just summer tires. It definitely helps to be able to ride all year round and
yeah,
just
yeah,
in the same sort of conditions, except in summer it's normally very dry and just dusty. It wasn't today. It was perfect today because we've been having the craziest storms this week. We haven't had power or reception or anything, so we got it back yesterday. So it's been a bit of a week, but normally it's really dry this time of the year.
We have
so
different
Mm.
circumstances there. Like you
Yeah,
can't break when it's hot. In Sweden, you have to break when it's cold, right?
yeah.
Opposite.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
so both of you ride in top level in Australia?
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, okay,
Mm.
So we've been oh, for the last 7 years or something, we've been running a team together, and it's been us two on the team, the two of us on the team. So yeah,
yeah, okay. Is there
which
something
is nice.
you can make a living on in Australia on that level, or do you have to maybe have a job on the side?
We both still work,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but yeah,
Okay.
it's still very hard. Some
Yeah.
people, it's definitely more help here than it is in Sweden. I had very good support before I moved here in Sweden, and I sort of kept having the same support, and we've been super lucky. But we had 2 years where we had salary, but the rest, like we still had to work even when we had a little bit of salary. So you
Yeah.
still need to work, or we still need to work because we're not winning everything. And even if you win, we don't get paid anything from the actual event. We only get paid if from the manufacturer.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, as an athlete, to be, you know, to be able to perform on that level and also have to work is extremely hard. That's
Yeah.
and we're going to go into that a little bit later, why Enagic is such a good mix with, you know, this sport that you don't really have
Yeah.
to go to a location and spend time. So, but we can talk a little bit more of that later on, maybe.
Mm.
So how do you view your, I mean, how many more years are you going to ride? How's your career, your path?
Yeah, who knows? Everyone asks us now, isn't it time to quit? Because we are pretty old doing it on this level, but we both feel like we're still very competitive and we still got what we need. We still got the speed to be up there and winning and having podiums every weekend. So
Oh, wow.
at the moment, we're still racing this year on the same level, but we have lost our manufacturer support. So we're not sure what bike we're racing this year, but we will be racing because we still
You
just
love it.
we love it too much. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just love it.
Yeah.
And then because we feel, yeah, we just feel like we're not really done yet. So
Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
So,
Well,
did you represent Sweden in some kind of championship or?
yeah, I represented Sweden in the international 6-day enduro in Spain in
Okay.
October.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
This year.
Yeah,
Oh, last year.
2024.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, we got bronze medal.
Okay.
Good
Wow.
for you. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So America, USA won, and then Australia was second, and Sweden got third. And that was the first medal we got since 2015. And I raced for Sweden that year too, in
Okay.
Oh,
Slovakia.
good for you.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that was
Congratulations.
cool.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
that was fun to be up on the podium again with them. I was actually representing Australia 2 years ago
Okay.
in France, and we got bronze there with them too. So,
Yeah. 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 Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
So, what place did you? I don't know how 6 days work, but you run for a period of time and then someone takes over, or how does it work?
no, so it's three of us on a team, three riders on a team, and we
Yeah.
all get counted. So enduro format works almost like a rally format. So we got time cards, and we got a certain time we need to be at one spot and then do a special test. And then we go again, like on a trail loop. And then we got a time we need to be somewhere at the service. And then we do a special test again. And then, yeah, so normally a day is like 8 hours. And we do 6 days in a row. And then all our race times counts together. And yeah, and if you're late or early with the times, then you get penalties and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot to think about. And it's only the rider that's allowed to work on your bike too. No one can help you. And you got 15 minutes in the afternoon to change your tires and fix whatever you need to fix on the bike. And then you get 10 minutes in the morning before you start.
Oh, wow. So you have to do everything yourself.
Yeah, they
Oh,
can
wow.
do fluids, they can do the fuel, but they are not allowed to touch the bike.
Oh,
Mm.
it's a little bit
So
like
there is,
November Kåsan, where you have to really work on your own bike.
The Swedish.
yeah, but they can, when they come in service, other people can work on their bike.
Okay, they can.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It used to
Okay.
be that way anyway, because my
Okay.
brother used to race that race, and we used to be able to work on the bike then. But oh, don't quote me on it.
I'm not sure either.
It might have
I'm not
changed.
sure.
I'm not sure, but yeah,
Yeah, so it's a very like you need fitness, you need a strategic plan, and you need luck, of course.
yeah.
Yeah,
You need to be a bit smart about it because you got an 8 hour day in front of you,
yeah.
and you need to get the bike through all the 6 days without wrecking it because you can't change. They mark the frame, they mark the wheels. You can't change wheels and stuff. So
Okay.
you need to be a bit smart to the bike needs to last the whole race. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
mm.
So
so
that
it's
that
a,
yeah. So that
it's a
brings
lot
me
going into it.
that brings me into also like for a 6 day, you have to think about what you're eating and your nutrition. You know, how does that work on the level that you are? How are you much into what you eat and you think about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty aware of all that because it's a long day. You eat breakfast obviously before you start, but then during the day you're not gonna have a lot of time to eat a lot of food. Also, because normally, if everything goes good, you might have 10 minutes at your service where you come, like you got service spots to fill up the bike and you have some food there and you got some helpers there to give you food and give you tools if you need some tools to do something on your bike. But if you something has happened and you might be a bit late, you might only come in with a minute, and all you're gonna spend time on then is fill up your bike and you go again.
Oh yeah.
So normally we eat some bananas, maybe some rice and stuff, and just bits and pieces. And then after the day when it's finished, we have like a dinner or a lunch, late lunch. And then a couple of hours later, when we come back to the hotel, we have another dinner. So we have like 2 dinners instead to
Mm.
fill up again.
Yeah. Wow.
And then, yeah, we just have some snacks during the day. So it's a lot. And then we always run in like a USWE pack, so hydration pack on us, obviously, so we
Yeah.
can drink all day.
Yeah.
So we got that with us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Mm.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm thinking while we're talking here today, we're going to talk about water and Enagic and electrolyzed reduced water. Uh, how did you I mean, a lot of athletes, they think about the nutrition, what they eat, but they have not figured out the water yet, which is kind of strange. So
It's funny that
it's very strange. Yeah.
because the body, yeah, because most athletes, we think about how we train. We're very like, we think obviously that's the first thing we think about, much we train and what we train. And then we think about what we eat.
Yeah.
And then we might think about how much water we drink, but we don't think about what water we drink.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the body is 70% water. So
Yeah.
it's just a funny one why we haven't thought about that earlier. And
No,
I feel
because
the same. I only started with this, so a bit started drinking this water less than a year ago, and I was thinking that I'm like, I've been thinking about all these other things, but it's such a big part of my body, and I haven't even looked into what water I'm drinking.
Mm.
yeah, and
So,
so much water that you drink are polluted with all kinds of stuff, that your
mhm.
body has to deal with. And also the fact that different waters is more or less uh, like that the body can take it up as well. You can drink a lot of water, but it's not hydrating you.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
so how did the switch go? I mean, did you come into it through someone doing this and recommended it to you? And how did that switch go for you?
Yeah, how did you find out?
Yeah, how
How
did you
did
find
you
out?
start it?
I actually, so the girl, Dean Ferris, a motocross rider,
Yeah,
his wife is working with the water, and I obviously, yeah, I know them, and I've been following her on Instagram for years, and I've seen her putting stuff out. I always wondered what it was, but it was a bit, oh, I don't know about that. Actually, to start with, first I didn't know it was water she was doing, and because we haven't got into that, but it's also a business. So at first, I wasn't sure that it was water. I just knew that she had started something new and found something that worked for her and her family. But then when I found out it was the water, I started looking into it more and started talking to her a lot more about it. And I was actually in contact with her to getting my own machine 2 years ago for the first time. But then the time, I don't know, I was a bit, didn't really believe in it, I guess, as we
Yeah.
all are sometimes. I needed more proof before I was gonna get it, believe it and get into it. So I was a bit standoffish, unfortunately. I wish I started back then because I noticed such a big difference in my body just drinking this water. So I wish I didn't, but I'm glad I'm there. I'm here now. But so I got into it through her, and why I sort of really got that uh, just kick in my bum to do something was that I got really sick 2 years ago
Oh, wow.
with dengue fever. So it's from a mosquito. So I
Oh,
got bitten by a mosquito and I got really, really sick. And then I also got Epstein-Barr at the same time,
Oh no.
oh,
Epstein-Barr virus.
yeah.
So, and after that, I couldn't walk. My muscles stopped working. All of a sudden, I got really high fevers for 2 weeks. And yeah, my body just stopped working. I couldn't walk or anything. I couldn't use my muscles.
Oh no.
So after that, it got obviously got better after a couple of months, but then I could never just seem to never be able to get back to training again, like in the same way as I had been doing before and push my body really hard. And so it was 2 years after being really sick. Now, no, I need to do something. It's time to try this water that everyone speaks very highly about. So I need to try something because I can't live like this. This is not the life I want to live. I want to be back to where I was before or better. So then I got in contact with her. And so I actually, yeah, I got into it because I was really sick and I just wanted to feel better. And just after 4 weeks, I felt so much better and I could start pushing myself in training again. And
Uh,
it was like a completely different body.
Hmm.
So
What
it
did
was
you
amazing.
experience, or how was that process? Like, what did you experience from after drinking the water?
So at first, I it took maybe 3 weeks before I started noticing, like 2 to 3 weeks. And I was very consistent with it. I tried to not have any other water because I really wanted all the benefits I could. And I just drank that. And what I felt was, yeah, it's very hard in one way to put it. Before it was like when I was training, especially because it was when I was training, I noticed the biggest difference because that's when I was really struggling before. And I used to be able to just keep pushing myself. And it's like, yeah, I'm tired, but I just keep going and push myself a bit harder because I need to train harder and all this. And I was always able to do that. But when I was sick, it was like that energy was not there. And I was about to faint and I started shaking and everything was just not working. But then after drinking that water, it was like I had more energy than ever. All of a sudden, I was shocked. I was like, first, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling really good. And then I started checking that. I'm like, the only thing I have changed is the water. I
wow.
haven't changed anything. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change anything else. Um, I got celiac disease, so I can't eat gluten or anything. So I have to be really careful with that. But I had that before, so I already knew about that. So I didn't change anything in my diet. I was already gluten-free diet and everything before
Mhm.
that. So yeah, and but straight after like 4 weeks, even my partner, he drinks this too, and he noticed. And then now, like Actually the biggest, or that was the biggest one, but the latest one, sorry that I'm making it a bit confusing
Okay,
because
it's okay.
it's like just popping up. But at the 6th day that we talked about, I actually ended up getting really sick at the 6th day with fevers and gastro. But other than that, I never ever felt so good at the 6th day. And I spoke to my partner about it. I'm like, even though I got sick, I just did not never feel dehydrated. Normally I run like with resorbers and stuff with the electrolytes. I normally run that in my camelback and I didn't. And I'm like, I wonder what it was. And he's like, did you drink your water? I'm like, I did. And I always like I've been using it for months before. And I said, I never felt that good. And I spoke to other people at the 6th day, like my Australian friends that were there racing. And I remember Jess saying, oh, this was a hard 6th day. Oh, I'm buggered. And I said, really? I feel better than it. I've done the other ones. I reckon this was one of the easy ones. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, I got sick. That wasn't nice. But other all the other things in my body seems really good. And she's like, really? Like, yeah, it's the water. Like it's amazing.
Because
I
that's
just
what, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
no, you go.
No, that because we've been working with this for 5, 6 years, and what we see is that like athletes are on this side and sick people are on the other side. And those
Mm,
are the people who see the most difference by drinking this water because both of you are on the opposite range of the spectrum, but you both are, breaking down your bodies, in a sense.
yeah.
So you see the
Pushing
effects,
your body,
you're pushing
yeah.
the body. So that's kind of interesting, I feel, because
Mm.
everyone that, Dean Ferris as well, his
Mm,
recovery after 6 weeks was just, so different. And
yeah.
Mm.
so it's kind of
Mm.
so happy that you feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually great to ask. Like, I know Dean is drinking the water, but and your boyfriend, have you had any other like testimonials from people in the enduro cross world, what their results with the water is? Because you're clearly experiencing it, and I mean, and I was on the sick side when I got the water, and I got well in also in 3 weeks, like 3, 4 weeks, I was back.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, I had more energy than ever before. It was like I was
It's
a
a bit
new
hard to
person.
explain, but it's just the energy. You just know your body. It's hard to put words on it, I think. I don't know how you feel with it after being sick and that, but you just know your body and you feel like it's just back where it should be, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I mean, I'm into the science of it a lot, and we work with professors, doctors in our teams. We're so lucky to have them there. Like we have one of the top immunologist professors in the world, and she said like, well, this water, and she studied it a lot. She studied for 2 years before she got into, promoting the water. And she said that's the one most important thing you can change to have the most effect on your health
Yeah.
on multiple
Mm,
levels. Like that comes from a top professor and also medical doctors. And she also speaks about like the importance of detoxing your body, because otherwise if you have a toxic load on the body's always working to get rid of that toxic load instead of repairing and doing what it should. And then also like you said, the energy level is actually coming from the negative charge in the water activating the mitochondria and the molecular hydrogen. So there's a very like medical scientific explanation to everything, but
And it kind of battles that oxidative stress that sick people and athletes are constantly, under. So
yeah.
so there is like the scientific explanation, but it's so funny to you hear it again and again, like we've done it for 5 years. The most common testimonial that comes is just like, oh my God, I have so much energy. Like, what do I do with
Mm,
myself?
yeah.
But would love to hear from you. Like, what do you see? What kind of changes has happened and can happen in the area of like motocross? Because I know it's like hydration is so important, right? And also having energy like for a long period of time.
Yeah, we see a fair bit of riders here in Australia, especially in the motocross, that uses the water. And also Dean Ferris has done a really great job in showing riders the water. And another rider is Reese Budd. He started with the water maybe 3 months ago now, I think it is. So he's a MX2 champion here. He races in the MX2
Oh,
in the
wow.
Australian Motocross Championship.
Yeah.
He raced for Husqvarna last year, and he said the same, that he noticed a massive difference in energy. And he said they like started with it obviously, and haven't had it for that long, but he's super excited to see where it takes him. And because he heard everything from Dean Ferris, of course, as well. And I know they done a lot of work with other riders, Renee and Dean, and so I don't know exactly how many that uses it, as I'm not in the motocross world anymore, but hearing from them, there's a lot of people that uses it and are very interested in starting. And because, like we said, there's a lot of people that don't really think about the water, what water we drink. We think it's just water, so it doesn't really matter. They think about what they eat and they train. But I think we're all starting to looking into every part of the science with all the different things to be better and healthier. And I think it also, with everything going on in the world, that people are starting looking more to they looking after themselves more. So it's definitely more people getting onto the water. But yeah, what we have noticed is obviously in the motocross, they normally do a 30-minute moto. So they need to be hydrated for 30 minutes, where they go as fast as they can. And the heart rate is obviously very high for
Yeah.
30 minutes. And it's not many sports where you have that. And so you need to stay hydrated during that whole time. But then it's just, if not even more important, to recover very quick after, because you might have an hour and a half or something, and then you're going to go out for another 30-minute moto and race. So the recovery in between the motors is super important. And with this water, we obviously, as we guys know, we haven't got into it yet, but you recover, like your hydration, you hydrate 6 times quicker than just normal water.
Yeah.
So that's a massive help. So I know Dean, he doesn't even use like hydrolyte and electrolytes anymore, because the water, he says that the water is enough for him.
Yeah.
Which that's massive, because normally you can't recover that quick and you can't stay hydrated for that long during a full day when you're racing that hard. And that's what me and my partner feel as well, that when we race enduro races, so we pretty often have like, yeah, when we race for a full day, or we might have a cross country where we race for 3 hours and we just cut laps for 3 hours. We go as fast as we can, but for 3 hours. That's a very long time to try to stay hydrated, and then after recover, because normally we race the next day again. After a cross country, we race again the day after. And we both have felt a huge difference and it's not helping that we're getting older. But yeah, I'm actually feeling like I recover quicker now than I did when I was younger.
Mm.
Oh,
In
wow.
that sense, not quicker with injuries, but when
But
I injure, I'm still
it should also maybe help with the
yeah.
injuries. The
Yeah,
injuries.
I haven't had any injuries since that. I was more thinking the injuries hurt a bit more as you get older, but yeah. But no, we definitely recover quicker. And yeah, you notice your muscles and everything, because that's obviously, it's not an injury, but it's hard for the body just if you have a crash and you're bruised and that. But I feel like I recover very quick, and he says the same, that we notice a big difference when we drink that water. And also being so hot here, we both work outside. So during the day, so we can be in the middle of the sun a full day working. And if I'm drinking this water the whole day, I don't come home with headaches. Like, it can be a 40-degree day, but I don't feel like the body's actually using the water, taking it up. I'm not just sweating it straight out. Well, if I just had water before, I would have to add something to it, because otherwise I was so dehydrated at the end of the day. So yeah, we notice at work and with training and racing, which is amazing.
Yeah, because I feel that I don't know how many motocross riders at the top level that uses this. I haven't heard about it. But if you look at the NHL, NFL, the top experts on nutrition that gives the guys yeah, you should eat this, they drink Kangen water. And you see top football players like Ronaldo and others, they have this machine because they have the experts that telling them drink this water, right? So, but
Yeah.
it's really strange that it hasn't got any traction in the motorsport yet. It's very strange.
Getting
I
there.
think it's maybe, I don't know, but maybe because those footy teams and they got the backup with all the scientists that for their teams, it's so much. I don't know if that's why, but I just feel like it's a lot of science, it's a lot of money in the sport, and they're putting a lot of money in to be the best they can. But maybe for us motorbike riders, it's up to us. But they have the support of someone else telling them, do this is going to help you, and do that.
Yeah.
It will make you better. But for us, we have to do the research ourselves a lot of the times, and maybe that makes it harder. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of football players and rugby players that uses it as well.
Yeah.
And then some skiers, I'm pretty sure, using it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Some
top skier, young guy in our team actually drinks it. Had a huge difference with
Yeah.
like what is it called? Like not the snowboarding, but
It's Puckelpist, but I don't know what it's called in English.
yeah, sorry.
Um,
But when they do the jumps and the turns, these kind of things, so he's top level,
Yeah.
and the trainers, they were just completely in awe of his development when he started to drink the water. And like you say,
Yeah.
the reports is just the both the performance and then the endurance, like really, and the recovery, like it was really remarkable. They said when he started to drink the water. So yeah, it's coming from all over the place. And like you say, the science, if you dive into it, because actually I'm, working with a lot of scientists and I'm trained like science teacher. So that's one of the things that I looked into from the start. Is just so massive, like 50 years of science and medical grade technology. So just really saying that to anyone listening to this, like if you're looking into the science, there's just a massive support for it. So I really encourage you to do that in the right way. Like you need to know what to look for, like look for electrolyzed reduced water on PubMed, Google Scholar, look at the medical grade certificate in Japan, which means that there is massive science. You wouldn't get that. Like it's the only machine in the world that has that kind of medical grade certificate. So you need to kind of, when you look at the top like athletes, many of them in the world, they choose exactly this technology because there's actually no competition because of the massive science and the quality also of this technology. So yeah, there's no problem with the science. And then you see it in the effects, like that's the most important thing, both for people, like we said, that have different health issues, because when you get hydrated, when you counteract the oxidative stress, when you detox the body, and you also have this antioxidant effect that is huge, like one glass of water is like 1.5 liters of blueberries in antioxidant property, and that kind of explains the recovery, because there's also science on athletes actually, where when you do these tough trainings, it creates oxidative stress in the body, and this counteracts oxidative stress. So there's a very clear, like, scientific explanation why the recovery is much better when you drink the water as well. So just getting a little science boost in there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked a little bit before we started recording that one of your friends started doing the water, but he had this kind of detox effect, because I think it's really important if there's an athlete want to try this, that you've been drinking poisonous water for so long, and when you shift to such amounts of antioxidants and stuff, you can have a detox effect. Can you explain a little bit about how you experience, or your friend experienced that?
Yeah, so what I explained to him as well before he started, that you might have a detox effect. Some people get it, some don't. And I didn't get much of it, but my partner actually did. So my partner, he peed a lot all the time. At the first 2 days, he said he had to go through toilet and just pee all the time. So he said it was like I just needed to get rid of all the old stuff in my body. And my other friend then that tried the water, he said he got some cramps in his stomach and had to go to the toilet a bit, but the worst bit was that he got some cramps. But he said that as well, that it's probably just the detox effect, because it was getting better the more water he drank. So it was like he was getting rid of the bad stuff in his body that he needed to get rid of. And he's been having some health issues, so that's why he was in contact with me with the water and asking questions about it. So and he felt better after. So we're gonna try to get him to drink some more of that water. So,
So
but
also
yeah, you
you
can have those defects.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No.
You're fine. Sorry, it's a bit delayed, I think.
Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you about before you started the water, you had this kind of reluctancy, or unsure about the water. What is the main hurdle for people to change? I mean, because I can imagine a top athlete, they are so focused on doing one thing, so they know everything they're doing, their program is right and everything. So shifting the water can be like a hurdle. But what do you see as the main hurdle for shifting the water? Is there any insecurities, or yeah, what would you say?
I think I didn't have enough information. I obviously it was out there, but I didn't look enough, I think. For me, it was probably, is this true? Can it be such a massive change?
Yeah,
Is that really
exactly.
possible?
Yeah.
And I actually had to convince my partner too, because I was like, no, I believe in this. I actually don't really, obviously, I want you to drink it too, but I am getting this because I need to try something. And he's like, oh, I don't believe in that at all. He was really against it. He's like, there's no way that would make such a big difference.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot because people don't have time, or we are just so used to one thing. So we decide to, nah, this it's just water. We know where it's happening. Like, this is what we got told our whole life, that
Yeah.
we just drink tap water. It's fine.
Yeah.
Especially living in Sweden, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, the water is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Here,
the best
it's,
water.
yeah, here it's like a lot of people don't drink the tap water here because it is pretty bad. Like, especially up north, that they don't drink that, they drink bottled water, but the bottled water is just as bad.
Yeah.
A lot of times, not all of them, but a lot of times it's no better. It might be filtered for something, but you don't have the benefits like we do with this. And yes, I would think the biggest hurdle for me was, yeah, I obviously didn't really believe in it first when I the first time I heard about it, I was like, there's no way it can be that much better. It's just water. But then I read up a bit more about it, and yeah, like I said, it took me 2 years before I actually got into this. I collected a lot of information, and then I'm like, no, I'm gonna try this. It has to be good. Like, it's worth a try anyway.
Yeah.
And then we both got on it, and we both noticed a massive difference. And now there's like, if we go to restaurants and that, I'll bring my bottle. I'm a water snob now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'll bring my bottle. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. If I drink that all the time, I don't care if I go to a restaurant and they serve bottled water, whatever it is. I got my water. I I just bring it everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think everyone, when you notice the benefits from it, that's what you do.
And when
Yeah.
you're more informed also, like in Sweden, I mean, I can speak to that because I've actually worked with a lot of Swedish scientists that have tried to warn about what's in the Swedish water. We're kind of this myth that we have, oh, we have such good water in Sweden, it's like it's fine. And I've even seen tests myself, and I worked with these scientists like that worked for 15, 20 years, showing that there is a PFAS, like the cancerogenic, in the water, in like 4 out of 5 water sources in Sweden. Like it's a huge problem, just that one. And then it's very acidic at times, so it creates this oxidative stress in the body. And they've found arsenic, they've found mercury, even these algae that create a lot of that is like a neurotoxin in the water of Malmö in Sweden. And so this is coming directly from the researchers, and then also spoken to people. That's actually how it started for me, because I'm a science teacher and I had this assignment to look at one of the water treatment plants in Gothenburg in my university, like every little like chemical reaction in the whole process. And I came to the conclusion, like, okay, what about the medical residues? What about the heavy metals? Like, how do you filter that out? And they told me straight out, we can't, or we won't. It's too, like, it's cost too much to do that.
Yeah.
It's just like, just the medical residues, like the hormones from the pills or whatever, it's not filtered away. It goes straight back.
Mm.
So that was kind of my wake up call. And then, so just kind of breaking that myth that Sweden has the best water. And then, in Australia, people are at least aware of it. Like, but then the plastic bottles, you don't know how long they've been standing there. It can be microplastics in them. Like, usually they still take it from a source that is contaminated. So it's not, yeah, I can go on about the science, but just want to give that perspective to, like, yeah, there are people trying to warn about this that have tried to do that, and it's a financial issue. Like, they're not putting the money there if people are not pushing them to do that.
Mm.
Mm.
I actually saw a thing this morning with Mel Robbins. She put up how much plastic we get in us from just drinking water out of a plastic bottle, and it's the same amount as a credit card. I'm not sure now if she said a week or a day, but either way, it's bloody bad. It's the same amount as a credit card. That's how much plastic we get just from drinking out of a plastic bottle.
Mm. Mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the body has to be occupied with trying to clear all of that out
Yeah.
instead of taking care of itself and,
Mm.
recovering or whatever. So, yeah, water, yeah, it's just a huge difference. And all the things we've seen over the years, people recover from different diseases, like getting amazing results with the water. And like you said,
Mm.
just shifting the water. You might not understand if you haven't experienced it how a great difference it can make. But then when you see it
Mm.
over and over and over, like, you can't unsee it, right?
Mm.
No, and I can
Yeah.
also attest to that as a 45-year-old male now. I mean, I train, I do all kinds of stuff, but I'm in better form now than I was when I was, in my late 20s and my early 30s. So, I run 10K in 46 minutes. It's if I didn't have the water, that would be impossible. I think I'm sure about that.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, because it heals your body as well. So
Yeah.
all the little struggles you had before and you heal them up as well. It's not just hydration, it just heals your body at the same time. So you just get so many benefits from it.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Mm.
as you said, how can water be this, profound? And it's just that you bring the toxins out and you're also drinking water that hydrates you. So the effects are so huge. So
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And if we think about how that our water is 70% water,
yeah,
our body, sorry,
yeah,
our body is 70% water. I think that's what we forget sometimes. If that's all bad water, that's a lot for the body to work with. But then when we change that to this good water, then it's like all that energy and all that like antioxidants, and the body is so hydrated. It's if you start thinking about that, it's not weird at all that we notice such a massive difference when it's 70% water that just got changed to something so much better.
Mm. Yeah, then the body
So,
can do its job like it's supposed to.
mm,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing, Emelie. I'm just thinking um, to look forward a bit, like what do you see? What is your vision, like both with the water and how it can actually improve the whole world of like enduro motocross? Because I think people are starting to realize this, but we're kind of just in the beginning still. Like it's so early. Like you
mhm.
said, you would have loved to actually jump on like 2 years ago, but I think it's so important to like if you feel drawn to this, like really, like you do the research, like come in contact with us. But what do you see moving forward? Um,
I obviously hope that I can help a lot of people to benefit from the water as well. Because, and yeah, like if anyone wants to try it, they should they should try it because it is as good as everyone says. Because I do think a lot of riders, like you said earlier, that they are so into their training and they are scared to trying something new. But at the same time, we are always trying to be better than we were yesterday.
Yeah.
So why are we so scared of trying this? So I really hope there's more people out there that can make it known, because if the riders do, I do think the sport will be less dangerous because we won't have the same brain fades and just brain fog and stuff and get so tired while riding, and that's normally when a lot of injuries happen. I
mm,
do think that will help a lot with injuries because yeah, injuries happen still, but a lot of them happens when we get tired because we just can't concentrate or when we get dehydrated. And this water helps with both of them. If we just drink a lot of this water, we all everyone that has been drinking it notice a big difference when with those things. So I really hope that yeah, we can help a lot of other people to sort of see those benefits too. And
Maybe it can
I do think it,
prolong their career as well.
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that's an awesome thing because that's definitely what I think as well. Because, like you said, you can run like 10Ks in 46 minutes at 45 years of age. That's amazing. So, and most people definitely can't do that even when they're 20. So, it's like, and if you can get that help and yeah, you can stay in the sport longer and look after yourself and yeah, our heart, our brain, and everything. It's just because instead of getting all the other nasties in the other water too, that just breaks our bodies down, but this actually lifts our body and heals our body. It's not just making it like stay where it is and just consistent. It actually lifts us instead and makes us better. I do, yeah, I'm actually surprised. But in saying that, I wasn't on the water earlier either. So I am surprised there's not more information about it, because it is such an amazing thing. And you hear, like you said, the football teams and the soccer, and that they have used it for years. So why, I'm not sure why the motorsport haven't. Like I said, maybe it is because most of it is in individual, it's on us. We don't have a big science support team behind us. Maybe that's why, because it makes it a bit harder for us, and we focus on the training and what we eat, and we forget about the water.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
but
It
yeah,
might take
it's
it might
definitely
take away your
growing.
advantage if more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might. I shouldn't. No, we always want to help everyone to be healthier.
Yeah, definitely. And
uh,
thinking about, I mean, what you brought up in the beginning, because I mean, we're entrepreneurs since more than 50 years, 15 years, both of us. And when we also saw the business side of this, that I know, um, like Renee works with a lot also, and saw the benefits that you can actually, like you said, it's hard to get sponsors, it's an expensive sport, that you can actually have an extra boost of finances that gets into this.
yeah.
Very ethical and very like high ticket, like huge financial returns. Can you speak a bit about a bit about that? Because I know you've also been in contact with people struggling with, like, yeah, they have to work and then they still want to be on the top, like.
I see. I'm going to ask you this later. What do you think? But the model that Enagic presents, it could enable a top athlete to at least, have their finances going for a year, even if you are on a low level and struggling with sponsors and stuff. And yeah, how do you see that development?
I think it's an amazing thing it's a perfect business opportunity for a rider, because we travel so much. We have so much time in the car. And for us here in Australia, it's pretty often we drive 16 hours one way to a race.
Wow.
And it's a lot of time. So that means when you're working a normal job, you have at least, if you're going to drive straight there, we have to be there on a Friday. So we normally have Thursday, Friday off work, and then at least Monday, maybe Tuesday as well. So there's a lot of days you have to take off work, because we have a job where we have to be there to work.
And the
So
time that you can put into training instead of working, that adds on to your performance as well, beyond the water. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because obviously we want to train as much as we can, but when we're working, that takes time off our training, and then we need the money. And then when we're going racing, we're losing out on money because we're sitting in the car driving. But with this, we can work with this from anywhere at any time. And we can also have it, like the automations can also run it for us. So I can make money while I'm out training, or I can make money when I'm racing or sitting in the car towards the race, which is a massive help.
Yeah.
Because it's always been the hardest thing for all the racers to make money, because it's always hard to have enough sponsors. So most of us need to work as well, because it is a really expensive sport. So if it's hard to find a job that firstly let you have the time off that you need to go racing, and then you want to go training, and then it turns out to be really long days when you're working from at least 7 to 4, and then after that you're going to try to go for a ride, or you're going to try to go training, and most of the times you're up in the morning to train. So you're just breaking the body down instead of getting stronger, because it's just too much work for the body. Is just no rest.
Yeah.
So with this one, that was another big plus for me with when I noticed that it comes with a business opportunity, because I've been looking for something else, because I've been working 2 different jobs. I've been working during the days and I've been working night shifts as well. So I normally live off 2 hours sleep
Oh,
each
wow.
night, and that's all I do. I could live off 10 hours sleep in a week.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
super unhealthy. And then I tried to train at the same time. So then when I found this and noticed how much it was helping my body as well after being sick, and then comes with a business opportunity that works for us riders so good. And not just that, like anyone that just loves traveling, you can work from anywhere at any time. You don't have to be a rider, but for us riders with training and where we need to rest, and like you get two of the best things in one. Like you look after your health and you get the water, but then you also get the business opportunity, so you can earn money on the road and while out training, and actually earning money through doing what you love.
Yeah.
And doing content while you're out racing or something. So you can use your training and use your riding and using what you love to make money off it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's almost
Which,
like the rider would have like a distribution contract with Monster Energy, and yeah, they talk about it and talk about the effects, and and the effects are real.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
but the difference is you don't get cents on the dollar, you get a couple of thousands of dollars in best case.
yeah.
And so that
Mm,
also takes away the pressure of constantly hustling and selling, because that also takes away a little bit of the credibility if you have to push it down people's throats. But if you just talk about it and someone else gets it, you get a kickback, which is awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I can just
And with
my
the
story real short. I mean, I'm a teacher by profession, and when we started, we had 3 kids at home. He had a transport business. I was a teacher. Like we had no time actually. Like, but I was just so dedicated. I put like 1, 2 hours per day, like consistently, and like you said, everything's there. You just tap into something that's already done. Like I did the trainings, I implemented, I just got it rolling. And after 1 year, I could quit. And then after 2 years, Christopher quit, and he's actually been like completely free for 3 years, just having saunas, working out. So it's not a small thing. Like it's if you really treat it as an extra business opportunity that it actually values your time. Like you said, if you have a couple of hours in the car, or if you're just traveling, if I can do it in a couple of hours per day, like I'm sure like anyone can do it. Um, but it's the same thing. When I saw this, it was also like, oh my God, it sounds too good to be true, that kind of thought.
And I think also that it's connected to a business can, in some people's view, be like, it's a business, it doesn't, but that's the hurdle I think people need to see through, that
yeah,
product can actually be top level, and it is top level, even if it's a business opportunity, whatever that you can make money on.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because people also used to companies selling it to you through normal means, the stores and stuff. And this is a little bit different. But I think if people take the time, like you did, look into this, they will see exactly what you saw.
And it's also like
yeah,
growing business worldwide. Like it got so many percentage of like the world industry is going online and going into this direction. So and it's like just very, very clear, very ethical, like very like has all the certificates. And yeah, we need to kind of shift, like you said, from just busting our asses, sorry to be straight, but like that's not the way moving forward. We shouldn't have to do that. Just like I want to be mother more, someone else wants to race, someone else wants to do that. But there's like just shifting it to like being more smarter with your time and putting it where it matters, and then getting huge revenue back. Like that's what's there. And I find it very ethical that yeah, that you can get this revenue back just by actually being yourself. It's not selling anything to anyone. It's just like you're doing to like just sharing the truth, just sharing,
Mm.
hey, this is there. And those that, when those that see it, they see it, and then, it's fine.
Yeah, like my upline is Renee, and if she didn't share it and that, I wouldn't know about it because I actually
Exactly.
I wouldn't have gone looking just, oh, where can I find better water? I honestly wouldn't have done that. So if she wasn't sharing her benefits of it and her and Dean's benefits, I wouldn't have looked into it. So it's up to us to share it more so people like get to notice the benefits as well, I guess. And yeah, and then just with the business opportunity as well. Like there's a lot of people that turns to it for the business opportunity, and then they get the benefits of the water and they see the benefits of it after. So some people come in to it because they're looking for better water and for their health, and then other people come in because they're looking for a business opportunity. But I don't think it matters which brings you in there because both of them are so positive and such a massive change to your life. So you you get the benefits from both either way if you
Yeah.
want to, if you decide. But it's yeah, with the business is obviously you still have to treat it as a business. It's not just gonna fall on your lap. It's obviously still a business. If you want to run it as a business, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
But it's there and it's a pretty easy and good way you can do it. And all the information is there for you too, the portal and everything. So it's no, it's pretty amazing. I
And
reckon
also
with the
one positive thing I also see with the company that I've seen over the years, that the machines rarely break down. I had some ask me to help them change like a hose on the machine. It was a 15-year-old machine. We sent it for service, changed the hose, cost €3. And
yeah,
I think the company that they are OEM, so they make all the parts and pieces. They don't outsource anything. So during pandemics and everything, it's a stable flow in the company also there.
yeah,
So I mean, you invest in this health machine. It's the best thing you can do for your health. You will also have this for 20, 25 years. So you don't have to change this every 2 years if you buy some cheap machine or whatever on Amazon. So
yeah. Because I think a lot of people get the they just go and Google alkaline water and they see all these other machines. But then, like, we got a lot of videos out there proving like what machine actually does the job. And there's a lot of fake ones out there. So I've been questioning that a couple of times. Yeah, but what's the difference with this? And then you need to explain it for them. But it's so sad that it is so much misleading information, but it's the same with everything. It's some cheap option where it's just says that it's supposed to be the same, but it's not even close to the same. It doesn't change the pH or anything in it.
no,
And it's just like those, I don't even know what they call this. They're just hydrogen bottles that just spins a bit.
yeah,
I had that question. It's like, oh yeah, this is supposed to do the same. I'm like, yeah, no, you can probably put that one in the bin. I can test the water for you, and I did. It didn't change the water a bit
yeah,
Yeah,
because
unfortunately, like there's so many videos actually from competitors just all attacking exactly this, like Kangen and
Mhm.
Magic, because they're the best, like they're the leaders in the
Yeah,
world and they've been around for 50 years, which kind of the track record kind of speaks for itself. But it's a lot of misunderstanding out there. And what I usually say is like you need to look at the different aspects of the water. Like some people get,
mm,
okay, it needs to be clean. Some people say, oh, it needs to have the hydration in the structure. Some people say, oh, they're going to distill water. And they haven't understood like the benefits that, this machine does all of the things you need
Mm.
with water. It was just like when we got in touch with this,
Without actually adding something else.
without adding extra chemicals or
Mm.
kind of cheating, or I've also
Yeah.
had people that tried the water and then, oh, but I found a cheaper copy. And with our water they had health benefits, and then they got the cheaper copy and nothing happened. Like they didn't get any benefits at all. And also others who just had to throw it away after some time because the quality is so bad, and then they can't shift parts. So this is
Yeah, that's what I'm
this is the
saying.
technology
Yeah,
we can stand for, stand
yeah,
behind.
yeah.
Like there's nothing like it.
Like if you give like $1,000 more for a machine, uh, and you decide to go cheaper, you will have to pay for that 5 years maybe
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
road.
you have to
So
buy 3, 4 machines more
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the
Because
lifetime.
Mm.
what I see is that this Japanese company, they've gone the opposite route of everybody else in the world who wants to make cheap products that break,
Mm.
as fast,
Mm,
because everybody, they think everybody should just consume, consume, consume. But here you buy a lifetime investment for your health, and
mm.
so that's awesome
But
as
like
well.
enduro motocross riders, you must know that like there's difference between the bikes, right? Like
Yeah.
there's different quality. It's like cars or anything. Like there's a difference between like a Volvo and a Lamborghini. It's like, hmm, there is a very big difference.
Yeah.
It is just
And then
taking this
the
kind of
original spare
technology.
part compared to an aftermarket part. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we most of
exactly.
us rider go for the original brake pads because they're a lot better than the aftermarket brake pads, or they last a lot longer. So it's the same. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
it's the same
original
everywhere.
one. Yeah.
Mm.
And you get to pay for it later because it never lasts as long, hardly ever.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
and this
exactly.
got a 25-year lifespan, this machine, and a 5-year warranty, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years.
Mm,
yeah,
Yeah.
mm,
So, which is pretty amazing. You don't see
yeah.
that on much machines anymore.
No,
mm, mm. And
So,
lifetime service, meaning you can send it to the nearest office, and there are offices all over the world, and just, fix it up for nothing. Like,
and we
mm,
haven't
yeah.
had. I haven't heard of any machine breaking in 6 years.
No, no. And even had people with like you said, 15-year-old machines like coming to us, can you help us
No, we just changed a
Yeah.
working hose. It working, but it was cracked in
Yeah,
a little bit.
exactly.
So
So yeah, it is the quality and the patents that they have also on the quality of the plates, and like it's in the
mm,
details. Like, and there is a video, if you like moving into the science of things, I would look at Dr. Michael Donaldson, and he has a video. Dr. Michael explains the competition. If you've seen that, then he's actually picked all the different kinds of machines apart. Like he's looked in detail, and he's also tested like most of the machines out there, and he kind of really explains why there's actually no competition with this machine in particular, and why the top people in the world are choosing this technology. So I mean, once you look into it, it's super clear, but of course you
mm,
need to do your own research. But yeah, just
and
kind of
and
giving
look
those tips.
beyond the bullshit that
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's always a
Facts,
lot there
not
that try
opinion.
to
Mm.
stop the good companies. So you will always find a lot of bullshit.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
for
red
sure.
flags is when you see competition trying to tear down someone. That's the red flag for
Mm.
me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. Oh, oh, look, this is so bad, but buy my machine. Like,
so anything
yeah.
else we want to cover?
Anything you'd like to round off with, Emily? It's amazing to hear your story and like your view of this. And yeah.
No, yours too. Really good to hear how you guys got into it as well. And it's such an awesome community in the company as well.
Mm,
I guess we can add that on. Like it's such a big group all over the world that sort of connects through the water too, which is pretty cool. That's
mm.
how we got to hear about each other. It's actually through the water, and then it just ended up being motocross as well, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's just I don't know what to say. It's more than it definitely blew me away, and I never thought it would have been this good in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing.
Mm.
And it definitely helped me heaps with my health and my job situation and being healthier in that way too, because I can actually stop doing my night shifts jobs and actually just sleep more and do
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
of the stuff I want to do. So yeah,
Yeah.
I
definitely.
would, yeah, I would love to hear. Maybe we can have a catch up and see how it's going for you.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah, would be awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, do a couple of after some races or something.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm. Yeah, I just see this kind of like there's so many areas where this is just the beginning, you know. So I'm
Mm,
so excited, like for everyone it can help, and then all everyone it can also benefit in, like you said, in multiple ways. Not
mm,
just the health, but getting your time back, right? When you have your time, which you need finances for, then you can actually spend
yeah.
time where you actually want to spend it.
And then they
So,
do have more products as well that will help with your health and that as well.
mm,
It's not just the drinking water. It's they have the other products like the what we have noticed as well, not to make it too long, but just to mention, is the shower filter.
mm,
I have noticed a massive difference from that one.
mm,
Being a girl, we really notice we always look after our hair and stuff. And
mm,
before, I always had, after riding, especially having a helmet on all day, it's just knots everywhere. By using this shower filter, it's just so soft and I can brush it out straight away.
wow,
And
mm,
I have had a lot of testimonial with some kids, a friend with the kid with the eczema.
mm,
When she showers in that with that shower filter,
yeah,
it completely disappeared.
yeah,
mm,
wow,
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, so
Actually, I have that
that's
the same. I can testify. I mean, I had eczema, and then using the shower unit, it's just gone, and I haven't used conditioner for years. Like
yeah,
it just becomes so soft and shiny, like the hair.
mine too.
yeah, yeah. I saw that. I thought I said it girls because a lot of guys don't brush it too often, but we do.
Yeah,
Obviously for everyone, but
and
also the skin too.
I actually bought this red light machine that should give my hair back a little bit more. So yeah,
Yeah.
To say.
They do say the water helps with that too, the shower.
yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
Supposed to help with that as well.
yeah.
But yeah, and then I love with the machine too, if we're gonna add on something, is how much money I have saved on cleaning products and I never ever wash in anything else than the water. Wash my
Wow.
Oh
clothes
wow.
in there.
Mm. Yeah,
I
that's a
use it as
lot of.
washing liquid, magnesium spray. I also use the beauty water from the machine as a detangler for my hair and just spray it in
Mm,
as
Yeah,
a spray and conditioner.
yeah.
And we use it for magnesium instead of magnesium flakes in a bath, the
mm,
11.5. And I use it as a cleaning product. So it's so many different uses. And when I have a cold, I gargle the 2.5. So it's like I save money.
I
I
mean,
don't just
just
make
mm,
money, I save money as well from using the water. And a lot of us try to get rid of the chemicals in our house as it is. And here's an amazing option at the same time. You save money and you actually getting rid of all the chemicals, but you still get a clean
mm.
house.
Yeah.
yeah, and especially in these times where after COVID we have this kind of hand sanitizing,
Mm,
everybody is using hand sanitizer that, destroys your skin. And you have hypochloric acid that's actually produced by your body's white cells. It's
mm,
actually a
It's a
a
disinfectant. Yeah.
disinfectant 2.5, and you can use that instead as a totally environment friendly, option
yeah,
and better one. So
And even
yeah,
like cuts or injuries, something like that. Like there's so many uses
yeah,
we could even go into. I know even like, boxers and stuff, they get all messed up
yeah,
in faces. they just put the 11.5 like on a towel on their face. Like the swelling, all of that also goes away. So I'm thinking like
Mm.
also with the injuries that are there, you know, in the sport, I know that it can be actually used. It's a medical device. You can actually use those kind of waters as well
Mm.
if anything happens. So yeah, there's so many uses. There's so many things we could go into.
Yeah.
We can talk for hours, but I mean,
Yeah.
this is just so cool because it's a medical device that's on hospitals in Japan. So it speaks to,
Mm.
you know, the credibility of the technology, I think.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so if anybody is interested in this, just reach out to either Emelie or if you're in Sweden, maybe here to us,
Mm.
and we can give you more information.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. And yeah, just really going back to also the source of this water, if you're looking into it, that it comes from Okinawa in Japan, where people live like over 100 years. So it actually comes from a natural, like analyzing natural springs in the world that had these huge health effects. And then from there, this spread in Japan, and then it's quite big in the United States, in Australia. Like Europe still hasn't kind of woken up to it. So we're still so early. People are really realizing, just like you, the importance of the water, the importance of also freeing your time and maybe having like a side income working online that can then become your main income. Like it's really, and also like you said, the movement or the community, that you're actually not alone in this, where you're going to be mentored by those that have walked before you, that have the results. I mean, that's mainly what we're doing these days. I mean, we have
Mm.
hundreds of people, one of the biggest teams in all of Scandinavia, and then you just actually help other people to have the health effects, which is an amazing thing to do. Like there's actually, like when I began with this, it's like, oh, there must be something wrong. Like there is a hook somewhere. And then after some time, oh my God, there is no hook. There is nothing like there is nothing bad here. It's just so genuine, so honest. I mean, so clear. And so when you look into it, you just kind of fall in love with it more and more and see like, okay, this has a huge scientific backing. Like you see all the testimonials, you see the benefits that you're actually working with something that has such a huge positive impact on so many ways. So yeah, like you
Mm.
see, I can talk and talk about it like I'm really passionate about it. But thank you so much, Emelie, for being with us
Oh,
today.
thank you.
And like huge, what do you say? Wishing you the best success and
Oh, thank you.
career moving forward, and huge success also with like spreading the word about this amazing water. So thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank you.
Emelie.
You too. Thank you for having me, and thanks for all the amazing work you guys do.
Oh, thank
Thank you.
you. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.